So, how does the anime trailer compare to the manga panels? Yo, what's good, it's your boy Reviews, and I'll split this video into two sections. I'll keep the first half anime only friendly, and the second half I'll talk manga spoilers. So let's start off with the first half of the comparison, comparing some of the trailer stills to the manga panels. Now, not every single scene in the trailer captured what was being done in the manga. First up, the founder Ymir. I feel like the anime refined her face, particularly her jawline, as the drawings in the manga were quite inconsistent depending on the panels, but I like how they made her look a lot more gloomy and very spooky for some reason in this shot. Next up, you got this camera pan over Eren's founding Titan body. I do like how in the anime you do see more of the Titan's details. Of course, Isayama can't spend a lot of time drawing every single detail on every Titan on top of his skeleton body, but unlike the manga, the anime seems to use the smoke filter quite a lot, especially with this shot. I guess it's to prevent any spoilers for the anime onlys watching this. I will admit the ribcage on Eren's founding Titan design has more detail in the manga, and it might be a perspective thing. Doesn't the ribcage in the manga appear larger in scale compared to the anime version? I feel like Reiner's armored Titan design is a big enhancement from the manga. I feel like his anime design is less wider compared to the manga version. You got the scene of Reiner tackling Galliard's Jaw Titan. Of course, I can't show you too many panels from the manga because it may spoil it for you guys. And then you got Jean flying around in the ODM gear. There wasn't an exact shot of the ODM gear sequence because it's all in animation, but the side view of his face in the manga, I feel like his eyes are better drawn in the anime version compared to the manga. Of course, Connie has many moments of him in the ODM gear with the thunder spears, but the manga never truly captures any dynamic shots of Connie throwing the thunder spears or any cool close-up shots of his face. He's always in the distance in the manga. The only panel I could find of this gremlin-like Titan is this shot, and you don't actually see the Titan getting blown away with the thunder spears. The manga actually shows a full shot of Peak activating the bomb, whereas the anime, you have two different cuts. I prefer the anime, but one thing I do prefer with the manga is that the smoke doesn't cover her beautiful face. Mikasa turning around from the manga panel, and you got many shots of Levi looking startled. I couldn't quite tell which panel from which chapter it was, but I do assume it is from chapter 135. You don't have the shot where you see Reiner's mom sideways falling down, but you do have a back view of her kneeling down to the ground. The anime made the Warhammer Titans more dramatic, and it does have a better perspective and camera angle compared to the manga. Of course, I can't show you too much of it because it may spoil it. Besides the Peak scene, I think this is definitely one of the few scenes that are a one-to-one adaptation from the manga of Armin looking pretty exhausted, surrounded in darkness. A lot of Mikasa's close-up shots of her eyes tend to make her look more like a devil, but the anime, you do still see her pupils and the highlights in her eyes, so at the very least she doesn't look too scary, and you don't quite get a shot of the Warhammer Titan spears being thrown upwards. And that is as far as I will go. If you're an anime only, thank you for watching. Subscribe for more reactions, reviews, comparisons, breakdowns, rankings, and more for Attack on Titan. But now we'll be diving into some manga spoilers. So if you're not a manga reader, then this section of the video is not for you. You have been warned. So going back to the start, talking about Ymir, there wasn't an exact panel of Ymir standing in front of the past tree. I thought maybe this may be like a match cut of her looking at Armin and then it fades back into the past realm. All the thunder spear scenes that you see Connie and Jean are all from chapter 135 because that's the only chapter they use the thunder spears. After that, they pretty much run out and have to use their blades to take down the Titans. I do feel like this side shot of Jean is taken from chapter 137. I feel like this shot happens after Jean blows up Eren's head and then Reiner has to take out the hallucigenia. Reiner has to prevent the hallucigenia from reattaching back to Eren. I feel like this reaction shot is her reacting to Armin being taken away by that Titan that stuck its tongue down Armin's mouth, which was a really gross image to look at. No wonder Mikasa looks disgusted. And I feel like this next shot of Levi turning around might also be a reaction shot to Armin because they both turn around in the trailer looking startled. I did feel like this shot might be the moment in chapter 137 where Levi sees Zeke and is about to strike him down. I think this reaction shot of Karina, Reiner's mom, falling down onto her knees is from chapter 135 135 when Bertolt comes out of nowhere and just takes a bite out of Reiner's head, and then she's just looking at him in horror. Honestly, even back in the manga, how on earth did she see Reiner from way over there? These Eldians have over 20/20 vision. Of course, these shots of the Warhammer Titan throwing their spears towards Falco's bird Titan. In the manga, there seem to be about 4 or 5 of them, so I can't wait to see the rest of them. Of course, this shot is definitely taken from chapter 136, and it's a scene where Armin is trying to wake up his body and he's trying to tell himself to move and stand up and to help his friends on the battlefield. Just before he meets Zeke in the past realm, I feel like this shot of Mikasa looking mad is definitely the scene in chapter 135 where Levi tells her to calm down after Armin gets taken away by that Titan. I think this zoom in shot is of Falco's bird Titan flying towards Eren's founding Titan, which is taken from chapter 136. And those are all the major manga panels to anime. Now, normally when trailers do use scenes from the manga for Attack on Titan, they do tend to use the first 2 or 3 chapters. Most of the trailer was taken from chapter 135 and parts of 136 and a little bit of 137. Tell me in the comments down below what you guys thought of the manga to anime comparison. Are you excited for MAPPA to adapt the final 5 chapters of AOT? Which chapter are you looking forward to being adapted? 135, 136, 137, 138, or 139? Tell me. Like this video, subscribe for more Attack on Titan reactions, reviews, comparisons, breakdowns, rankings, and more. But thank you for watching, and as always, a boy do the view, signing out.